Hello everyone, my name is Andrea Dalifta. Today I will briefly explain the characteristic of sandstone and carbonate reservoir and the geological factor that control the reservoir quality. Content from this presentation are effect of degenesis on sandstone reservoir and effect of degenesis on carbonate reservoir. Sandstone reservoirs are mainly controlled by depositional factors such as grain size and sorting, with porosity gradually reduced by compaction and cementation during burial. In contrast, carbonate reservoirs are more complex. Their reservoir quality is strongly influenced by diagenetic processes such as dissolution, cementation, and dolomitation, which often create secondary porosity. Understanding this geological control is essential for predicting reservoir distribution and evaluating hydrocarbon potential. Main factors controlling porosity loss with depth are mineralogy, texture, geothermal gradient, and pressure regime. Mineralogical maturity plays a major role. The more mineralogically mature a sand is, the better it can be preserve its porosity during burial. At one, texture significantly influences how porosity decreases with depth. Poorly sorted sand containing abundant clay matrix compact more easily and therefore lose porosity faster than clean, well-sorted sand. So, both grain sorting and matrix content strongly control mechanical compaction and porosity destruction. Geothermal gradient also affect porosity preservation. As temperature increases with depth, chemical reactions such as cementation proceed faster. Because reaction rates increase with temperature, higher geothermal gradient accelerate porosity loss. This means basins with high heat flow tend to experience faster diagenetic cementation and steeper porosity gradients compared to cooler basins. Pressure gradient is another important control. Abnormal or overpressure conditions help preserve porosity. This likely occurs because elevated pore pressure reduces effective stress, thereby decreasing compaction effect. So, in overpressure basin, deeper reservoir may retain better porosity than normally pressured one. Oil and gas are commonly observed to help preserve porosity in sandstone. When petroleum enters a trap, it reduces the circulation of cooled water. Since water is necessary for cementation reaction, this inhibits further cementation. However, cementation is not completely stopped. It continues but at reduced rate. This suggests that hydrocarbon charge timing is critical in preserving reservoir quality. Carbonate rocks include limestone, mainly composed of calcite and dolomite. Carbonate reservoirs are as important as sandstone globally, but they behave very differently during burial and production. Silica in sandstone is chemically more stable than calcite. Because calcite is less stable, diagenesis has a much stronger effect on carbonate reservoir than on sandstone. In sandstone reservoir, primary depositional phases usually control reservoir quality. In carbonate, however, reservoir quality is mostly controlled by secondary diagenetic processes, not primary porosity. This makes carbonate reservoir much more complex and difficult to predict. When the first deposited carbonate sediments are highly porous, highly permeable, and chemically unstable in subsurface conditions, in the subsurface, carbonate minerals commonly dissolve, reprecipitate, and recrystallize. As a result, porosity distribution in carbonate reservoir is usually secondary in origin and often unrelated to original depositional phases. Therefore, facies analysis alone is often insufficient unless the genetic overprint is minimal. Reefs are unique because they form as rigid rock frameworks during deposition. Modern reefs may have very high porosity, around 60 to 80%. Since reefs are already lithified, they do not undergo normal mechanical compaction. Porosity can be preserved if burial occurs in a static fluid environment. However, fluid flow strongly affects reef reservoir. If alkaline connect water flow through the rock, it promotes cementation, particularly the formation of mosaic sparite, which reduce porosity. On the other hand, if acidic meteoric water circulates through the reef, it causes dissolution which enhances or increases porosity. Sea level fluctuation may cause multiple phases of cementation and dissolution. This overprinting results in poor correlation between geological phases and engineering reservoir units. Lime sand can have high primary porosity, similar to reef. However, unlike reef, they are unconsolidated and compact rapidly during burial. Mud compacts, shell fragment fracture, porosity decreases quickly. Early shallow cementation may occur fibrous cement, micritic cement, and microcrystalline cement. These early cement reduce porosity slightly and might significantly reduce permeability by blocking pore through, but help preserve framework by reducing later compaction. Later diagenesis depends on fluid type. Acidic meteoric fluid promote dissolution or leaching of carbonate minerals, resulting in secondary porosity enhancement. Meanwhile, alkaline fluids encourage parite cement precipitation, which reduces pore space and decreases reservoir quality. If no fluid flow occurs, porosity may be preserved and hydrocarbon may charge the reservoir. Without early cementation, lime sand are more likely to lose porosity completely during burial. Recent carbonate muds are composed of aragonite, which is unstable at depth. During burial, aragonite transforms into calcite. This reaction increases bulk volume by about 8%. Porosity decreases significantly. Combined with compaction, most ancient lime mudstone become hard, tight, and non-reservoir rock. They only become reservoir if fractured and dolomitized. First, primary dolomites are typically bedded and laterally continuous. They commonly form in subka or supratidal environment. Texturally, they are usually cryptocrystalline and with a chalky texture. Although primary dolomites may have some porosity, their pore throats are very small, which result in very low permeability. So even if porosity exists, fluid flow is often limited. In contrast, secondary dolomites are much more important as reservoir. They usually cross-cut bedding and are commonly associated with unconformities, fault, and fracture. When calcite is replaced by dolomite, the rock volume decreases by approximately 13%. This volume reduction creates additional pore space and increasing porosity. Secondary dolomites often develop intercrystalline porosity that can exceed 30%, and unlike primary dolomites, they are permeable and can form excellent reservoir. Overall, secondary dolomitization is one of the most important diagenetic process for improving carbonate reservoir performance. That's all from me. Thank you for watching.